Today, we're gonna make Sprite with alcohol. The easy name is Sprite wine, but we're gonna go with Sprite with alcohol too. Okay, this is a very basic wine. Gonna be really simple. You should be able to make this with easily found ingredients around your house or your grocery store. I have a scale. I recommend using a digital scale. Derek is dumping out star sand from our fermentation bucket because everything here was sanitized in
the red bucket of sanitization.
Literally just like a 10-gallon bucket off to the side, has star sand and water mixed to the manufacturer's suggestion. And I recommend doing that because it prevents infections. It just keeps you safe. I know a lot of people say, oh, you don't need to. Well, you know what? The one time that you don't and it gets infected and you have to throw away an expensive batch or something that you really liked, well, guess what? You're gonna wish you had sanitized. So we're gonna start with some sugar. How much sugar should I start with?
I don't know.
How much alcohol you want this to be?
I don't know.
All right, I'm thinking somewhere around like 12% or so.
Sure.
Yeah, something like that sounds
good.
So I'm gonna do 2 pounds of sugar because I know something. And that is that each pound of sugar in a gallon of must gives about 0.046 specific gravity. So 2 of those would be 1.094. Multiply that out and it comes to about 13 or so percent. But we're probably gonna want this to be a little sweet because Sprite's sweet too. So 2 pounds of sugar going in. Now, of course, do you have to be exactly 2 pounds? Well, no, but I wouldn't go much higher. And, if you want it to be close to the same as what we're making, you don't want to go too much lower. But like if you're off by 1/10 of an ounce, it's not like the sugar police are going to come to your house and arrest you.
Yep.
I'm 1/10 of an ounce over. Oh, well. That's it. Got to throw it away and start over.
1/10 of an ounce is ruining everything. Oh,
I'm exaggerating for effect because we have people that get freaked out over little things like that, and it's just not something to worry about.
It's all right. Check it out. Check it out.
Water is a really important asset in winemaking and mead making and brewing in general. The quality of your water is very important. We have a whole house filter on ours, so there's like no chlorine smell or anything like that. If your tap water tastes like the local swimming pool, well, buy bottled water and use that. You can always get spring water. Try to avoid distilled water, as that has almost everything removed from it, including any micronutrients and minerals and things like that you want in the water, because yeast do need a little bit of that too. And I'm literally just gonna pour this whole thing in. This is warm. I wouldn't call it hot. It's probably like 100 degrees Fahrenheit or so it's like body temperature.
Now we are using our favorite picture, which has the numerals on the side, so Brian can measure out a full gallon of water.
In both metric and American numbers, so you can even see like, 3 liters is exactly, well, almost exactly 100 ounces. Did you know that? I didn't know that. But we are actually making 1 US gallon, which comes to 3.785 liters. And the 2 pounds of sugar would be like 914 or something, 908 grams. So 0.9 kilograms.
We're also using our graduated bucket, which is super cool.
This is a 2-gallon bucket.
Shows on the side where our liquid volume is coming to, which is helpful during the fermentation process. So you know if you have too much headroom or too little headroom.
Now, I like to use oversized buckets for primary fermentation, and here's why. If it gets aggressive and it starts to foam up, we just built this new studio and I don't want to have to de-gunk it from all the sugary stuff that would be all over the place. And trust me, it gets everywhere. So we use oversized buckets and that almost never happens anymore.
That is perfect for primary fermentation, but once fermentation is complete, it's a whole different matter, so keep watching.
Absolutely. So far, this is just sugar wash.
Yep.
Some people would call it a kilju, K-I-L-J-U. It's a Finnish thing that college kids used to do. It was illegal for a while, and now it's legal again. And I'm stalling just a little bit because I want to make sure that it's fully mixed through.
The benefit of using the spattle in a plastic bucket is that sugar is granular. So if you hear crunchies when you're stirring on the bottom, you know that your sugar isn't dissolved yet.
But they don't even know what the spattle is. This is the spattle. It's a spoon, it's a paddle, it's both. You can get yours in the link in the description below. I think it's mixed.
It sounds like it.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a gravity reading on this just so that we know what's going on. But to do that, I'm also gonna need a note. By note, we take a piece of paper, just standard 8.5 by 11, and cut it into 4 strips. Very high tech with our labeling system. Wait till you see how I attach it to the bucket. Masking tape. It's important to take notes because if you don't take notes, you have no idea what you did or anything like that. And if you have notes and you like what you did, you can recreate it. But also if you have notes and something went wrong, you can sometimes pinpoint where it went wrong and be able to correct it for next time.
We have some crazy thunder going on outside. I don't know if our microphone is picking it up, but if you hear this crazy rumble, that's weather.
The reading is really just to give you a guide as to where you are, that maybe you didn't add 6 pounds of sugar instead of 2 pounds by mistake. Because if you did add too much, you can kill the yeast off and they won't ferment. They just won't. No yeast out there will be able to do 6 pounds of sugar in this. It's just not going to happen. I'm hoping this is somewhere around that 1.090 or so number, like I said earlier. And I'll show you a little trick when I do that. It's a little bit lower. That's actually kind of surprising, but I'm okay with that. Not everything needs to be 25% ABV, you know? 1.076. If you have a triple scale hydrometer, and I hope you do, if you don't have one yet, maybe this is your first brew or something, really look into getting one. It's very important to get that, a cylinder, and I just use a turkey baster, okay? Nothing fancy here. But 1.076, if I look at that and spin it around to the potential alcohol, it's about 10% ABV. Which for a wine like this, I feel is more appropriate than like a 15 or 16%, because then the ethanol flavor is going to interfere too much. This should be nice, light, crisp, refreshing, and sweet. And wow, it's really, whoa.
It's angry out there. All right, so this brew was inspired by an oops moment in a previous brew. We actually had a bunch of lemons and limes that we zested for the margarita mead.
Yep.
And when we tasted
Actually,
it...
margarita wine, sorry.
When we tasted it after the zest had fermented along with the other fermentable sugars, we realized that the citrus note was right perfect. And so adding the fruit at that point would have been a bad idea. So we have all these naked fruits.
Yep.
Or mostly naked.
Some of them have some of the zest peeled off, some don't. I don't think it's that crucial, so if yours all have it, it's okay.
So that inspired us to make the Sprite wine utilizing that leftover ingredients.
That's right, waste not, want not. So this stuff has been sitting in the freezer, and I highly encourage any fruit that you use, put it in the freezer, because when you do that, what happens is the ice crystals, they form very quickly and they are sharp. They break through cell walls. You'll see liquid in the bottom of the bags as it defrosts. That's the liquid in the fruit itself coming out, and that's what you want. So for this, I'm just gonna kind of take the halves and squeeze them a little. You don't have to get too crazy. I don't actually enjoy this part, but I'm doing it. They're still sort of frozen too.
We contemplated about squeezing them, just using the juice, or just throwing them all in, and we opted to do a little bit of both.
Here's the thing. The yeast are gonna get to it, okay? I get this question a lot, like, oh, why didn't you put it in a blender, or why didn't you juice it? Because the yeast are gonna do it. Have you ever seen a food processor or a blender out in the wild? I mean, come on, that's what yeast are used to working with. They just get it from the fruit as it falls. It rots. That's what fermentation really is a part of a putrefaction process. Sorry to get gross on you, but it's decomposition. I mean, the name wine or vinegar is bad wine. Well, wine is just bad fruit. So, think about it from that perspective. But anyway, I just want to get a little bit of it out, get it in here. This is why I wasn't overly concerned with the 1.076 number. I'm getting a little bit more sugars from the fruits.
Anyway. So far we have 2 limes and 2.5 lemons.
Yeah, and 1 frozen hand. Because these are still very cold. Okay, so as I was putting those in there, as you could see, I neglected to tell you how much I put in. It was about 1 pound each of limes and lemons. It was 2 pounds in total. Could use more? Sure. I wouldn't use any less though, because that's about the minimum. But one thing that's important about limes and lemons both is they're very, very strong. Their zest is more potent than their juice when it comes to adding flavor.
But the something that their juice has that the zest doesn't is acid.
Yep.
And so we tried to do
some
little Google food to figure out what yeast works better in a low pH or a high acidic environment. And then a thought popped into Brian's head and he said, hey, we did a test where we didn't adjust the pH of a very acidic brew and it fermented fine using
Fleischmans active dry bread yeast. Also, this doubles as this is the easiest yeast for most people to be able to get. If you cannot get Fleischmans, the brand, use whatever popular brand of bread yeast you can get. Don't use the one that's been sitting in your grandma's cupboard for like the last 15 years because the yeast are probably dead. I'm adding a teaspoon. Of course, if you wanted to use an actual wine yeast for this, you totally can. If you have it or you want to go get some, go for it. 71B would be nice. Premier Classique is a good one. Cote de Blanc is a good one. There's so many out there and they're all going to produce good results. You really can't go wrong. If you want to make something that's going to end up a little bit sweeter but have even more of the lemony flavor, try SO4. We just did an experiment with 71B and SO4 and it came out kind of tasting a little bit lemony all on its own. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And why am I mixing this? I never mix once I put the, I'm getting it off of it. Oh, okay. A few yeasts will not be able to fulfill their destiny because they are now on the spout.
It is all right.
But now what we got to do, put the lid on. And to make sure we have a good seal.
It snapped really lovely, but Brian's got a new toy.
That's right. The Haas, the hammer of superior sealing. It's a dead blow hammer. It's a lot of fun. If you had a stressful day or weekend, go make some brews, put some caps on buckets. Now all we need is an airlock. What do we need an airlock for? What is it good for?
What are you good for? All right, it is great because it allows gases that are going to occur naturally during the fermentation process to escape without rupturing our vessel. Bombs are bad, brews are good.
Yep.
It's also going to permit any bugs, actual bugs, like fruit flies that are genetically created to be attracted to the fermentation aromas, getting in there. They're coming from everywhere. They're smelling you out. They're going, oh, I want some of that. Well, they can't because of this thing.
And what's in it?
What is in that is our properly diluted sanitization liquid based on our manufacturer's parameters. It's star sand and water. That is in here rather than just plain old water because we did have a sample where we used plain water and the fruit fly got through it anyway.
Yep.
So having a acidic situation or an alcoholic situation, if you have a distilled spirit on your shelf that you
Like Scoresby Scotch.
absolutely hate, go ahead and put that in your airlock and that'll kill the fruit flies too.
If we end up having to clean this out, like say some foam gets up in there, I will usually replace it with spirits afterwards just because we don't have a bucket of star sand ready to go. In case that question is just about to come up, do we keep star sand between batches? No.
Nope.
We make a new batch for every brew day. It's been safe for us. We've been doing it that way for a long time. Star sand itself is actually pretty cheap. You can buy a 32-ounce bottle of it. Lasts us over a year, and we do 52 brew days a year. Whew, that's a scary thought. But anyway.
Now we're going to get that fancy tape that
Back
Brian
to my
talked
super
about.
fancy labeling method.
All right, where do you want the label to be?
I want it to be right here.
Right there, okay.
I just get a piece of masking tape and, carefully affix it to the top of the label here.
I'm drying off the surface so that the said tape will actually
That's why she asks, because
adhere.
usually she dries off an area and I go, but I want to put it
And
there.
it goes someplace else. It's wet, and so it doesn't stick. So on our notes, we have the name of our brew, the date that we started, its original gravity, and the ingredients and their volumes all listed.
Yep. Now, put the label on, stick this in the ferment station, and we'll be back to show you what it does once that airlock activity comes to a slow, like almost stopped. But just know it could take up to 3 days before you start to see any activity. And if you're using a bucket and you don't see any activity right away, look inside. If you see bubbles breaking the surface, it's working. Just seal it back up. It's fine. Tiny little air leaks don't make a difference for the fermentation process, but they will keep the bugs out anyway. Okay, so this was going for like a week, really active. And then just the last couple days, I've noticed the activity has slowed. So, hey, why not take a check and see what it's doing? Maybe it's done. The fruit has puffed up, but it still looks very much like fruit. It doesn't look like mold. There's nothing hairy or wispy or anything like that in there. It just looks like fruit. Now we do the olfactory inspection.
It's got a strong aroma.
It smells like lime.
It smells like cleaning fluid.
It kind of does, yeah. And if you think about it, cleaning fluid is basically the same thing with no sweetness or anything in it. But anyway, let's get in here and take a check. It's not clear, which is sometimes a sign that it's not done. But, you know, it only started at 1.076. It's very effervescent. I'm going to say it's not actually done yet, but it's at 1.004.
Wow.
In 1 week. This was bread yeast. I forgot.
Do we want to, since our fruit are nice and easy to remove, do we want to remove them?
What, you mean like by hand?
Yeah.
If we used a sanitized piece of gear or something, I'd feel better about it.
How about you get a bowl and some tongs? I'll sanitize the tongs and we'll grab them out.
However, we normally leave fruit for 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You think there's enough?
I'm thinking we're going to have to dilute
We need a glass. Let's just give it a taste.
Okay.
There wasn't that much fruit. Wasn't that much fruit. What I mean by that is normally it takes 2 to 3 weeks for fruit to fully extract. 1 week is kind of quick. If you want me to taste it first, I will.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think it's going to be all that crazy. It's on the dry side, but it's not overpoweringly fruit.
Huh.
It actually kind of tastes like Sprite. It kind of tastes like a dry, non-carbonated Sprite.
It does.
I say, let's let it ride.
All right.
1 more week.
All right.
So I'm going to pour the sample back in. In case anyone was curious, though, I'll tell you how much alcohol it's made so far. So using the calculator teacher said would never be handy. It was right here, just right there.
I don't know why I'm messing with this.
Yeah, I'm gonna use the Haas on.
I know.
1.076 was our starting gravity, minus 1.004 is our final gravity, times 131.25 gives us 9.4 or so. Keep in mind there was some fruit in there too that would have given a little bit of sugars. I'm gonna call it like 9 to 10%. Totally fine and appropriate. It's good. She was trying to seal the bucket. You gotta use the Haas. Pretty sure you've seen it before. If you haven't, go back and watch, because it was in this video.
So we're going to put our label back on and we'll see you in a week.
It's been another week. It was a 1.004. What's it at now? Only one way to find out. It smells limey and lemony, which is how it's supposed to be.
Your observation shows there's no fuzzies, which is important. Honestly, if I were a fuzzy, I wouldn't want to grow in that.
I'm expecting this to be really, really dry, which means we're probably going to be making some adjustments. 0.992.
Apparently, pH was not an issue.
Neither was the yeast. Just for S's and G's, using the calculator teacher said I would never have handy, let's figure out just how much alcohol we made. This started out 1.076. It ended at 0.992. This is not including the tiny amounts of sugar that might have been in the lemons and limes. That's 0.084, by the way, times 131.25. This is 11% ABV. It was supposed to be low ABV.
Well, ours goes to 11.
Yeah. And I think if we added more sugar, this would go even further, which is probably why today we are going to do something a little bit different here. But first, we need to rack this off the fruit. I'd like to point something out. At this point, this brew is 2 weeks old. 2 weeks! We're using the auto siphon to rack it off that fruit.
We're not using the ripple jar today because our fruit stayed in its little halves.
I mean, there might be a couple little pieces here and there, but no big deal. It smells amazingly like Sprite. It really does.
It's like Sprite concentrate.
Yeah, kind of. It's quite clear, too. As it should be to be Sprite. So we call this Sprite wine, but it looks like Mountain Dew.
A little bit.
It really does. Okay, so now what we want to do is give this a taste. The first taste is probably going to be awful. I will just say that right now, because it's going to be dry.
It's going to be potent.
Yep. And it's not going to taste like what we want it to taste like. I'm doing hefty pours because we poured a gallon. That looks like Sprite to me. It's not fizzy. It's not cold. It's not sweet.
It's definitely lemon lime on the nose. For as dry as that is, I'm not offended by it at all.
It's a little...
That is crazy.
Oh, now I'm getting the puckering. Okay.
Are you all right?
Yeah. This needs to be a lot sweeter.
All right, if you're in Camp Brian, this is going to need tons of sugar. If you're in Camp Derica,
But would it truly be a Sprite wine if we didn't sweeten it?
you're right. It needs to be.
So sticking to the spirit of what we're making, we're going to sweeten it. But I need the spattle to mix this up.
Oh, no problem.
Now, if you've ever seen our show before, you know that the way we sweeten is a little unorthodox compared to some. We sweeten it till we like it. And that works. And it works for many, many reasons. The first is it's to our taste because we're the ones that have to drink it. So therefore, we want to like it. That means if you're doing it for yourself, you should sweeten it to your own taste. Don't go by what some guy says. No, I added 2 extra pounds of honey because I wanted. Don't do that if you don't want it sweet. Don't. Just don't. And if you want it dry, drink it dry just like this. You can call it lemon lime wine and call it dry lemon lime wine. And it's totally okay because it's your brew.
That's right.
Have it how you like it.
I was going to say, have it your way.
Have it your way. There you go.
Is that phrase copyright?
How could have it your way be copywritten?
I don't know.
I don't think you can copyright something that common. And you want to mix this through. I added a lot.
We have some nucleation sites, which is not surprising, which means the granularity of the sugar that we just added has activated the gases that were trapped in suspension, and now they're being released, creating a lovely foamy layer. Luckily for us, it didn't erupt like a volcano, which we may or may not have happened in the past. You think we would have been better at it this time.
That would require learning. No, I'm just joking.
That would have been really messy, though, because we're so full.
Yep.
That would have
I
been...
saw it. I'm like, oh,
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Right now, though, the lime is a little stronger than the lemon for me. So I'm hoping that the sweetness will cut that down just slightly.
Sure.
It's got a really nice crispness. Yeah. And acidity level. So that, I'm hoping, comes through really nice when it's carbonated.
I would hope it has a nice acidity level.
Taste number 2.
Being generous in our tasting pours because
We have more than a gallon.
more than a gallon.
And I know this is going to go into a keg, so the kegs hold 1 gallon.
Now, because we're back sweetening with sugar, the aroma should remain the same.
By the way, why are we back sweetening with sugar?
We're back sweetening with sugar because this is a wine, and so if we back sweetened with honey, we might be going more into the mead realm. It would not be mead because we didn't ferment with honey, but we don't want to add that honey flavor.
Right. I mean, it's flavor profile. Sugar adds a neutral flavor profile while keeping it sweet, where honey would change it. Brown sugar would be very different and completely out of line for something like what we're doing. But it depends on what your intent is. Could you back sweeten this with brown sugar? Sure. Or honey? No problem. It won't taste the same. And that's the thing. We're trying to keep to the spirit of Sprite wine. Holy crap, that's good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it tastes like flat Sprite. It really does.
Now, we happen to have a bottle of Sprite right over there. Do we want to sample that to see if we're the right
We're
sweetness?
going to save that
We're going to save it for the final
for the
tasting.
final
All right.
comparison, the final countdown.
So we're going on memory alone, and considering neither of us
I
really
think-
drink soda that often.
You know what, though? I think we need just a touch more sweetness.
Just okay. I could drink it all just like this and be perfectly happy.
That's it.
At least until the next day.
It's 11% still.
I know. That's why I put that.
Slightly diluted. So it would be like 10.5, 10%, something like that. But still, 10% Sprite? Think about it. But it doesn't taste like alcohol.
No.
It really doesn't.
Ew. I don't know. I'm pretty happy with this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is lovely, and it's very simple. And this is the kind of stuff that I like showing people how to do. Really tasty, really refreshing, and impressive, yet super easy to do. I mean, this is literally we're going to be doing the tasting on this at 3 weeks.
You know, this is so good that if you don't like carbonated beverages,
You can just drink it like it is.
go ahead and pasteurize this and call it a day
Yep.
and drink it as is.
It's a lemon lime wine right now.
It is lovely.
It's really nice. Wow. Slightly more lime than lemon. I'll give it that. That's the biggest critique I have for it at this moment.
Yeah, I think the lime has a stronger presence, so you might, if you want it to be more equal,
Maybe
in
2/3 of the
sensation.
limes to lemons.
Yeah. that.
But not a problem. I mean, I am very sensitive to it because I don't particularly like lime. So to me, it was weird.
All right.
We need a keg.
So yes, that is what we're going to do next. We're going to go ahead and pressure carbonate this rather than natural carbonate that. And it's because we want to retain the sweetness level that we just added.
Right. Let me be clear. If we tried to naturally carbonate this right now, okay, what'll happen is the yeast is going to keep eating the sugar and we will have explosions, not carbonation. If we pasteurize and then add insurance yeast, same thing, because pasteurizing kills the yeast, not the sugar.
Yeah.
We get a lot of questions about that, and I just want to be very clear that if you pasteurize something because you were afraid of it fermenting, and then you add more yeast to it, or add honey to it, or anything that could have wild yeast, even fruit, you have a possibility of re-fermentation because the wild yeast could take over.
Now we have done one, I think, natural carbonated sweet beverage.
Yeah, it's
And
risky.
It's risky because you have
We've
to
done a couple times.
pasteurize
Partway through.
mid-fermentation,
It's risky.
which could also lead to explosions because you have a pressurized bottle that you're now heating up. So
Right. Or not enough carbonation at all before you pasteurize. So to me, one of these mini kegs, I just looked at them. They're under $100 now. And the CO2 things are pretty cheap. I mean, I know that sounds like a lot of money to many people.
But this should last you the lifetime of your brewing hobby.
We get years out of them. So yeah, just they're so great. And super convenient. And it's almost foolproof. Like once you do it, it's pretty much a done deal.
All right, I know this was sanitized yesterday,
Yeah, we should probably re-sanitize.
but I'm gonna do a quick rinse. All right, so after I have everything re-sanitized, we're gonna go ahead and rack it into our vessel. We're going to pasteurize it, and then we are going to carbonate it with the proper utensils in our mini fridge because
let me just show you really quickly how to carbonate, because we've done it on camera a couple times, but this, I just want to show you how simple this actually is. So you take, this is the part that goes on top here, and make sure that the valve is all the way to decrease or off, right? You have your spigot here, and then your CO2 tank, this goes right here. And I'm just going to attach that because it's closed off. You didn't even hear a hiss, nothing. It's all good. So what'll happen is we're going to pasteurize. After it comes to room temperature, I'm going to put this on, crank it all the way up, give it a shake, and put it in the fridge.
well, we release the
yeah.
oxygen. We have a full video on it. I'll make sure to link it in the description below.
But that's the gist. Really, really simple to use. And all of this comes with the kit for the keg. We actually have a video on just the keg itself too. So that's what we're gonna do, and see you in a week. Okay, it's been pasteurized, it's been cold, it's been carbonated, and now it's ready to be tapped and poured and consumed and stuff. Are you on? You're on.
Sounds like it's on.
Okay, here we go. Looks like Sprite wine. When you use these kegs, put a little paper towel on the table so it doesn't get all over the place. Okay, color-wise, it kind of looks, well, it's a little yellow.
It looks more like ginger ale.
It does. It smells.
Than Sprite.
Wow.
But it smells.
Smells like Sprite. It smells good. It's not perfectly clear, but it's very clear.
Yeah.
Like, it's a 9.5 out of 10 for clarity.
But because we used pure natural lime and lemon, actual limes and lemons, I'm not surprised that it isn't crystal clear.
Yeah, sure.
And for some reason, for me, knowing what's in a product helps alleviate any concerns when clarity comes to be judged.
All right. Well, you ready? That was pretty damn close to Sprite. It's a little limey, a little extra lime.
Yep. That lime likes to grab a hold of your tongue and get kind of abrasive feeling. Mm-hmm. And that tactilely is what's happening.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna make some words.
This is really good though.
Yeah.
I mean, considering this is just sugar, water, bread yeast, lemons, and limes, this is incredible.
For a mixer
Oh yeah.
that you don't want to lower your alcohol if Like if you needed
Did we ever do? I never did the actual alcohol.
if a cocktail is requiring Sprite,
Yeah, just use this.
use this and you can keep your ABV up.
Yeah. 11%.
Hers goes to 11.
Yeah. So it's officially a wine. Don't taste like 11% alcohol, that's for sure.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, this is danger juice.
Now, do we want to compare it with actual Sprite?
I'm afraid to.
I feel like actual Sprite compared to this is going to be kind of watery and meh.
Yeah. Are you sure you want to do that?
No, I don't want to do that.
No, we don't need to.
This is punchy in flavor
Give me the Sprite.
as our brews tend to be.
Now, this Sprite is not cold.
No.
I'm going to put it right in my glass.
Oh, okay.
I just finished mine. So
Well,
I'm just going to do it like that.
you have residual flavor from.
I see the similarity. Ours tastes more natural and real. This tastes like chemicals. It really does.
Kind of tastes, like I said, it tastes watered down compared to this.
But you know what we need? The mixture.
Dilute your Sprite wine with Sprite.
That's right.
It's a Sprite on Sprite cocktail.
That's actually kind of neat, actually, in reality. Let's see. It's probably going to be best of both worlds. Oh my God. So fortify your Sprite wine with Sprite. Or defortify it with Sprite. I'm joking. Dilute, yeah. But really, this is good on its own. I thought this was great.
It is.
It's a little strong lime for my personal taste, but it's not that far out of the range. Like it's pretty darn close.
Yeah.
Does it taste exactly like Sprite? Well, no, when you have them side by side, but close. Like you can tell that this was inspired by Sprite.
Sure.
Without a doubt.
And if you're looking to make a shandy and you want it to be a high proof shandy,
This would be amazing.
using this,
Mix this with a light beer. Ooh. Now you got, I mean, when you mix them together, you're still going to have like probably 7 or 8%.
you'll be fortifying the beer.
Yeah, you're fortifying a beer with Sprite
Sprite.
wine. Wow, that's crazy. But anyway, on your screen, you should be seeing our scoring guide, which goes from 1 through 11, because yes, ours does go to 11. What you don't see is the 0, which just means it just sucked, okay? We don't give those out very often. I don't think this is either a 0 or an 11. I think that's a safe spoiler to make.
Yep.
Do you have a number?
Kind of.
I do. You ready? 1, 2, 3,
8.5.
7.5. Was debating on 8. Wasn't sure.
Yeah, I went up to an 8.5, and I think the reason why I went down from a 10 to an 8.5 is that on its own, I could not drink a copious amount of this.
Mixed with Sprite, it's amazing.
Mixed with Sprite is amazing.
Yeah.
Mixed with cranberry juice, I think it would be amazing. Mixed with beer, making a shandy, I think it would be amazing. Mixed in any cocktail that requires Sprite, I think it would be amazing.
Yeah,
You see a repeating theme.
it is a
here.
really great mixer, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
As a mixer, this is like a 9.5 to a 10. It's just fantastic.
Absolutely.
On its own, it's a little limey.
It's aggressive.
So if I was to do this again, I'd probably use half as much limes as lemons. Which I think we mentioned that once before, but that would be my recommendation if you're going to make this. Use half as much lime as we did. I think
Yeah.
it'd be fine. Then it'd be fantastic.
But if you want an alcoholic version of Sprite,
This is it.
yeah.
As always, guys, thanks so much for watching and have a great day.
Bye-bye.